Hello, hello, hello. Let's run through some of the things uh, I've been working on, or I have worked on, to try to earn some money. Um, I don't have a script. This gonna be, this gonna be, it's probably gonna be a terrible video. I'm sorry. Here is a font, um, because when I'm writing code like this, I want a monospaced font, and because I want everything to be nice and aligned because it's a lot easier to read. And sometimes I use Chinese characters. I don't know if I have any in here. Let me look. Maybe here. Nope, probably not. I should. If I had a script, it'd be better. But I don't. I don't have the strength to make a script. So anyway, sometimes I use Chinese characters in my code because they're short and like one character can be an entire word. One at most three characters. Okay, the longest word I know in Chinese is uh, ah so so te la te la, something like that. Means Australia. Is four syllables, so it's four characters. But most words are two. Almost all words are two. Sometimes one, sometimes three. Uh, right, so that makes it nice and condensed. The problem is the font that I really like the most um, is this is called Fira Code, but there's no Chinese characters in it. So I took Fira Code and mashed it up with a bunch of other stuff and made this font. And there you have it. That's one thing I've been working on, and I like it. I use it every day. Okay, next. What is this? Oh, this is. I just released this. What does it say? 19 hours ago. I just published this, and this is a oof. This is a lot of work, and it's the culmination, or it grows out of work I've done for almost 2 years. Let me show you. So this website right here, MVSEP, Music and Voice Separation. This website tracks the absolute best AI models for taking music and separating it into the different components. The most basic separation is you have the musical part, the instruments, and then the vocals. MVSEP, music, vocals, separation. But it's gotten much more sophisticated. So separating the drums and bass line and many, many, many other things. So um, I did a lot of work on this about 2 years ago, and this this website, it's not just a random website. The person who runs this is an AI researcher and um, published a paper proposing a leaderboard and a standardized way of measuring how good or not good a particular separation model is. Because, uh, like with LLMs right now, everybody just, you know, many people publish a new model and they're like, ours is the best, and here's a measurement that says ours is the best. So this gentleman and two other researchers wrote a paper saying, hey, why don't we have a standardized measurement that's all tracked in one place? So I think it's a pretty good idea, and that's what this is. So on this website, they like ByteDance, they own TikTok. Their AI research team out in California, they post on here when they make a new model, they measure it and they put it on here. And well, I'm on here. That's why I'm showing it to you, because the work that I did um, ultimately led to me submitting models or results, inferences to be measured that are good, really good. So everywhere it says HH that's highlighted, that's something I created. And this first page has 20 entries on it, and I'm on there 8 times. And I haven't, the last time I did any work on this was November 2024. So that's a year and a half ago. And despite that, I'm still ranked number 2 on this leaderboard. I was ranked number 1. You can see the date on mine is October 2024, and it took 8 months before someone could beat it. And the person who beat it is the guy who runs this, the AI researcher who runs this website. See, it says MBSEP Ensemble, and it took 8 months before he could beat it. You can see he tried right away. Look, I posted on October 6th, and he posted immediately on October 8th, like, you can't take away my number 1 spot. But I did. Um, that is, I am bragging a little bit. Yeah, I'm bragging a little. However, the real reason I'm showing this to you is because this is an objective measurement of how hard I'm working. I can, I don't know, I could just post a video saying I'm working really hard, and you just gotta believe me. Um, but how could you verify that? It's not particularly easy to verify it. Well, this is a pretty good verification. I worked hard enough and and smart enough that I was able to make advancements in AI technology. That's what this is saying. And uh, the the amount of work that I put in and the results of it are so good that among the AI researchers who work in this area, I was ranked number one. My results were ranked number one for a long time. And a year and a half later, my results are still in the top, are still dominant, um, which is related to this project that I just released yesterday. This is a program in Python that is one part of the code, all of the code that I used to achieve those good results. So what I've done is I've taken this part out, this module, because it makes it's a good module. There's nice, clear boundaries. And um, formatted it and reworked it to update it and make it so that other people can use it. And I published it yesterday. Um, what now over here? If you don't know anything about programming, that's okay. There, if you do know, this is PyPy, the Python package index. And if you don't know what that is exactly, it's the for Python. This is the primary package manager, package index, excuse me. And so on this website, sort of, people can publish code packages that they have created and want to share with other people. And I have 8. I've with now that as of yesterday, I have 8 packages on here that I share with other people. Yeah. And I told you the latest one that I published is part of the code that I used to achieve these results that are, among the best AI models and results available. And I've already published before that other packages that I was using. So way down here, this analyze audio. Oh man, I'm laughing because that's the first one I ever published. And well, it I've gotten a lot better at Python and programming since then. A lot better. It's the package. The code in this package is a little embarrassing. But it does work. It's clearly written by someone who doesn't know who's doing things the hard way, but they work. And yeah, so I've been publishing this for a while. Not even sure when I first published it. Maybe 2 years ago. So Analyze Audio is, excuse me, one of the tools, and this one called Zaz Tools is another one. Zaz is for me, is a placeholder. Kind of means prototype, but I don't want to use the word prototype because there's other times when I do want to use the word prototype. So anyway, that's what this is. Excuse me. If I make a prototype of something, of some code, and I want to use it in other programs, I'll put it in my Zaz Tools package, and eventually, or not eventually, if I, okay, so this package, Hunter makes Pi, Pi being short for Python. um, most of the functions, most of the code that's in Hunter makes Pi started in Zaz Tools as a prototype. And then I built up enough tools that were similar enough to each other and no longer prototypes that it made sense to pull them out and make a new package. And Zaz Tools is in here. There's a lot of audio tools, because of the music voice, music vocals separation stuff, right? And I will pull those tools out and make a new package with just those audio tools. Uh, but yeah, well, there's only so many hours in a day, and I'm still I'm not a professional programmer. I'm not. I have absolutely no training as a programmer, and I've no experience working as a programmer. I've worked in IT, in information technology. I have many years of experience with computers in other areas of IT, but not programming. And programming it's a very serious skill. Anyway, it'll take me a little while. I don't know. I don't know when it's going to happen. Now, all of those tools that I've been talking about, there's more leaderboards on this MV-SEP. So what I was showing you was synth here is short for synthetic, because they're not using um, songs from like uh, Madonna or 50 Cent or Ravi Shankar or Bach, because then people could cheat. So all of the music is synthetic. It's fake, if you will. They synthesized it, and no one else has access to the to the source files, so they can't cheat. So that's why this leaderboard is more or less it is the, I don't want to say the best indicator, but um, what's it, the veracity of it. Like you can have a lot more faith in the numbers on this leaderboard because no, it's just not possible to cheat because no one has the original source. Okay. That being said, this is called the multi-song leaderboard, and there's many leaderboards. You can see this link over here. It says other leaderboards because there's other leaderboards. This multi-song leaderboard has the advantage that instead of only measuring over here, instead of only measuring the quality of the vocals and the not vocals, the multi-song leaderboard has multiple categories. It measures the bass line, measures the percussion, the drums, and it measures the vocals, and then it measures everything that's not vocals, bass, and drums. So there's four categories. This fifth column is the total of the not vocals, so bass, drums, and other. This can be, this is, if you want to look at how well a model performs on other things, this is where you go. And look here, I told you that ByteDance submits their models. There's ByteDance is highlighted for you. And on this page, they do something a little unusual. The first four rankings are not actually rankings. The the very first number is like what would be the perfect score. If you somehow manage to get an absolute perfect score, that's the number. It could never be higher. The second number, the second ranking, is a perfect score, but for some reason you submitted your results using an MP3 format instead of a WAV format. MP3 is a lossy format, so you lose information. The fourth one, again, it's just a different format. Excuse me, the third one's a different format, fourth one's a different format. So this is useful information, but it is a little odd that they put it in the rankings. So the first four rankings are not actually rankings. Whatever. And I didn't do as much work on this data set as I did on the synthetic data set. Nevertheless, um, I'm still on here, which is to me is crazy. Because think about uh, how quickly technology, AI technology is changing. And these two highlighted results, these are mine. They're number 16 and number 17, but remember the first four don't count. And I I submitted these results in very late October 2024. So again, like a year and a half ago, but my results are still very highly ranked. Um, I mean, that's just crazy. A year and a half ago, what was that like? Chat GPT 4.0? I mean, I don't even remember. But think about how much has changed in the area of LLMs, and things have improved a lot in music separation. But for some reason, I'm still here. Well, the reason is um, I worked hard. I worked really hard. Worked very hard, and clearly, I worked smart. Merely working hard is not going to make a good AI tool, right? And how good is number 16 or number 12? It's pretty good. Look down here in its bottom, and you see there's 53 pages. There's 20 results per page. That's a little over 1,000. So if I'm number 12, that's 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 freaking crazy. It's just blows my mind. It's pretty good. We make it a percentage. Um, that's not right. What am I doing wrong? I'm doing this wrong. It's top 1%. Okay. It is bragging. It's just a little bit of bragging, but the primary purpose is to quantify how hard I've been working and to demonstrate that I'm also working smart, not just hard. Right. So where are we at? Now, uh, I haven't done much work on this in this area for like a year and a half. So what have I been doing? Well, I made I made this font, which has, by the way, it's not just Chinese. It's a mashup. The characters include there's three writing systems in Japanese, so it includes all three of them. It includes there's two writing systems in Korean. So the one you see here is Hangul. No, uh, oh, I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. These are the typical or the most common contemporary Korean characters. However, there are older Korean characters that are look similar to Japanese and Chinese. So both of those writing systems are in there. Um, Chinese, you're probably aware that there's simplified Chinese and traditional Chinese, but it's actually more complex than that. There's simplified Chinese, Mandarin spoken in Taiwan, and that's usually called traditional Chinese. And then there's Cantonese or Yue, uh, and there's differences. But all of those writing systems and languages are in this font. And this was a lot harder to make than I thought it would be. Because my thinking was, I'm going, I'm not trying to create a font from scratch. I'm going to use existing fonts that are designed by real designers, and I'm going to take components from them and merge them together. And I thought, how hard could that be? Oh, I don't even know how to express to you how hard it was. It was because I have no experience in this area, but huge, huge endeavor. Okay. Oh, right. Why I have not been doing the AI stuff very much in the last year and a half because I've been doing uh, this among other things. So map folding, boy, it sounds really stupid when I just call it map folding. In mathematics, there's a branch of mathematics called combinatorics. That's a very broad area, and it's the mathematics of counting, which sounds kind of stupid, but how do you count um, things when there's lots and lots and lots of them? And I don't mean this is quite different than a statistical analysis that estimates. Combinatorics is we want to know the exact number, even if that number is a 1 followed by 50 zeros. We want the exact number, and we want to know how to count it. We want algorithms for counting it. And this is actually really important in the contemporary world because um, if um, this earpiece just told me battery low, and this earpiece is how you get audio, my microphone. So I'm going to have to change something in a second here. Okay. Um, self-driving vehicles. So autonomous or assisted driving cars, um, drones, your little Roomba vacuum robot, the autonomous robots for mowing lawns, all of these robots that make decisions about moving through the world, they are actually using combinatorics, which I know sounds really weird. um, and I think I can quickly show you why it's not that weird. If a robot is here, there, if a robot's here and it wants to get to there, the first there's the problem is there's more than one way to get from here to there. Especially if like you're a Roomba and there's a wall in the middle, there's a couch in the middle or something. So at the very least, you can go around it on the left, you can go around it on the right, but there's more than that. And especially if you're a Roomba and your job is to vacuum, you don't want to just get from here to there. You want to vacuum from here to there. So, what is the path that you take? Well, you can't choose the right path if you don't know how many different paths there are. And that's the key. How many different paths are there? That's combinatorics. It's the mathematics of counting. So the first question is, how many different paths are there? Then follow-up questions are, what is the best path? How do we choose the best path? What are the parameters? Blah, blah, blah. But you have to start with how many? That's combinatorics. So path finding problems are exceptionally important in the contemporary world with all of these autonomous vehicles and robots. And it's not just being able to do it, it's being able to do it quickly and efficiently and accurately. So this area of research in mathematics is very important, extremely important. And the name that the mathematicians, combinatoric mathematicians, have decided to call this area of mathematics is either stamp folding or map folding. And the word stamp folding comes from when this problem was first formalized was about 175 years ago. And it was at a time when postage stamps to mail stuff, do you know what mailing stuff is? When you would buy them, they would often come on a strip. So maybe you would buy 10 stamps and they would be all next to each other, 1, 2, 3, with perforations between them. And they would be folded. And someone asked, a mathematician asked, well, how many different ways can we fold it? And that became the stamp folding problem. And then it got broadened into map folding because a series of stamps is just one strip of stamps, and a map, can be a whole bunch of different panels. That's this area of math. And I've been working on it. And I'm like before with the AI music voice separation, I've worked very hard and I've worked very smart, and I have objective evidence of that for you. This, what is now a website, the Online Encyclopedia of Integer Sequences, notice it says founded in 1964. He did not found it on the internet. in 1964 because so this resource started as the Encyclopedia of Integer Sequences. So this is a published by a mathematician for mathematicians, specifically mathematicians who work in combinatorics, and it it's an excellent resource for finding uh, what is our current level of knowledge about a particular problem. So on this page, there's this. If you look down here, there's a very small number. There are over 400,000, no, almost 400,000 different combinatorics pages in here. This page is dedicated to a very specific problem in stamp folding, map folding. So if you have stamps that are, there's two of them next to each other, on like one on top of each other, and then there's a strip that could be as long as you want, or a map that has two panels next to each other and then can be as long as you want. That's the two panels or two stamps by n, some number. And yeah, so that's me, Hunter Hogan. That's me. Um, this particular problem, the 2 by n, uh, Fred Lunan, who's listed here, way, way back in uh, 60, when? 60, um, um, the first paper, okay. Way back in 1971, before I was born, he published a paper that is really important and computed the values um, up to like 11, 2 by 11 or something. Um, and this is a really difficult problem, and there wasn't a lot of progress. And then look at that, 40 years later, he revisited the problem and discovered a bunch of 7 more numbers, which is really hard because these numbers are big. Here's the numbers. The first number is 1. How many ways can you fold it? 1. Second number, how many ways can you fold it? 2. Then 8, then 60. And then this is about, if you have a strip of stamps that's 2 by 10, it's like 1 billion. And then these are, I don't even know what that number is. It's ridiculous. So that's what he computed. And then there's me. I I Yeah, that's crazy to me. Come on, that's crazy. There's two there's two names on this page. There's the man, Fred Lunan, and then there's me. I'm gonna change this headset, so it will go silent for a second, but there might be some clicking. I don't know, or loud noises. Is it working? Hello. Okay. Is that good or bad? I don't know. I don't think I've ever tried to use these particular headphones, so I don't know how well it's gonna work. The meter on the monitoring screen says it's working. Okay, so again, this is some objective evidence that I have been working hard and smart. And the way I was able to achieve that, just like Fred Lunan, he did it. Let's look at his paper here. It's right here. Way back in 1971, he published a paper in a journal called Computer Journal. That was the that's the name. Excuse me. That's the name of the paper. So he's using computers back in 1971 because counting these by hand is not possible. Or with a little punch calculator, no, you're not going to do it. So, like Lunan, I wrote code, and uh, my code is uh, 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 I don't I got a picture. I want to say it the right way. Without Lunan and his code, I could never have done this. I definitely built on his genius ideas, but I did make some improvements. I mean, I definitely made some contributions, and that's what this Python package is, and done a lot of work on it. It says 1,194 commits, so that's like drafts, if you will, and improvements. And yeah, yeah. And part of this, what ended up happening is I came up with this idea that's really good. It's a really good idea. Uh, if I were a professional programmer, it could be implemented better. The idea is good, and the implementation is pretty good. And I generalized the idea so that we could use it, researchers especially, but all anybody who's doing programming can use it in tons of things, and that's what AST Toolkit is. So AST Toolkit is an area of programming, computer programming, called meta programming. So instead of writing a program, you write a program that creates a program. You don't. I'm not. It's not AI, and I'm not writing a program that writes a program. I'm writing a program that transforms a program, but it's meta programming, which is why. Okay, that's also crazy because I'm not a programmer, and here I'm doing meta programming, which is does not seem. Well, that just seems silly for me to have attempted that. Now that I think about it, but I didn't know that it was called meta programming. If I had known it was called meta programming, I probably would have been like, no, I don't know how to program, so I don't know how to meta program. But I do, or I did, or sort of. That's what I made. And it's useful. It works. And we know it works. We know it produces. This is this is serious mathematics, even though I'm not a mathematician. Okay. Um, what do I got here? So on GitHub. So in addition to, mm, so these are 8 projects that I publish on PyPy. On GitHub, um, there's lots of things, and excuse me. Um, GitHub is a way to interact with other programmers and potentially work together. Um, and I have been contributing to other projects. And if we look here, we can get an idea. No, not an idea. We can see exactly the contributions that I've made. Um, this this project is widely used. Uh, yeah, if you use Google Colab, if you know what that is, SoundFile is one of the default um, installations. Like it's by default the Python image includes SoundFile, so it's kind of a big deal. That doesn't make me a big deal. That is a big deal, and I was able to contribute to it. And then here's Python. This is a part of Python called TypeShed, which is for typing. If you know what that is, great. If you don't worry about it. I've made many contributions to that, but the point is, I'm working hard and I'm working smart. And the what we're looking at here is objective evidence that I'm working hard and working smart because uh, even though I'm not a programmer, I have been able to make contributions to Python, to the language itself. So that's Python type sheds. Uh, let's highlight some of these. Okay, so on this page, there's 5 examples of Python type shed. But if we just look at Python, all of the Python projects, we'll do it that way. Okay, on this page, it's only one more. So Python, CPython, that's like the core language. It's not just typing. That's just, on this one, it's just documentation. You know what? I don't want to downplay that. I don't want to say just documentation because um, I'm not a professional programmer, but no, I'm not, but I'm not a professional programmer. I am a, I'm an exceptional editor and a good writer. I have literally a few thousand hours of training as a writer and an editor from law school, and experience as a writer and an editor from in lots of different areas, as a teacher, law school, as a prosecutor, and a few other things. So uh, most of the people who work on these programs are programmers, not writers. So one of the best ways for me to contribute to other people, to all the people who use Python, is by using my writing skills to improve the documentation. So, so that it's correct, so that it's clearer or complete. There's lots of things. Here's another name you recognize. This is Adobe. So I've made some contributions to Adobe. Um, yeah, Python, 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 Python. Instagram. So what does this show you? Oh, this is again working hard, working smart, and um, trying to be pro-social. I want, yeah, yeah, that's right. um, so I just talked about documentation a little bit. The amount of effort. Okay, so to write good documentation, if you're a programmer, well, let's start with the other way around. I've mentioned multiple times that because I'm not a programmer, it takes me a lot more effort to create a quality program. And the the reverse is true. In these major projects that are important and used by many people, there are tons of brilliant programmers. However, when they need to write documentation, not code, but to write documentation for humans, it's a lot more effort for them than writing code because they don't have the training, they don't have the experience. However, for me, it's way easier than it is for them. I can I can achieve better results than they can, and I can do it in 1/10 of the time. So this is this concept is division of labor, and without it, we would not have civilization. You have to have division of labor, and division of labor is division of knowledge. It's the same thing. You have to have division of labor. That it necessarily means there's division of skill sets. There's different levels of ability, capability within the different skills. So part of me being pro-social and trying really hard to be pro-social is trying to contribute um, my strengths, especially when they are weaknesses for the other people. I'm a good writer. They're good programmers, and that's what you're seeing here. Some of what you're seeing here is that I'm trying to be pro-social, and I'm achieving it. I am being pro-social. Some of these are documentation. Some of these are code. Some of these are code and documentation. Typing is kind of both. Yeah, yeah. I hadn't really thought of it that way, but that's typing is semiotics. It's a signal of intent. Yeah, I really hadn't thought about it that way. That's interesting. Okay. Um, so I've been doing a lot. So that's coding. Coding. Uh, but that's not everything. I am close. But you're watching this on YouTube, right? So you know that I have a YouTube channel. I even have a second YouTube channel. Here's my second YouTube channel that I originally created. There's a game called Two Dots, and oh, how many years ago was that? 7 or 8 years ago. Um, I read about how people were making money doing were streaming on Twitch and YouTube and making money playing games. And at that time, I was sleepy on the streets, but I did have a phone, and this game you play on the phone. And while sleeping on the streets, it's really hard to make money. Really hard. So this sounded intriguing, especially because um, I used to be a professional gamer. You've you may have heard of a game called Magic the Gathering. This is a card game, a trading card game. You've almost certainly heard of the trading card game Pokemon. Well, the trading card game Pokemon is literally based on
Magic the Gathering. Literally. The very first trading card game, collectible trading card game, was Magic the Gathering. And about a year and a half after it came out, people making Pokemon went to the people making Magic the Gathering and said, "Hey, let's make a Pokemon uh, collectible trading card game," and they did. So the very original collectible trading card game was Magic the Gathering, and way back in 1994, yes, 1994. I was the first person in the world to play Magic the Gathering as my income. I didn't own a card store. There were other people who owned owned like a comic store or yeah, or a trading card store, and they played in tournaments. That wasn't me. I didn't have a second job way back when. I was married and we had a kid, and my then wife, worked part time, so she wasn't supporting me being a crappy professional player. I made I made the money for most of the money for our family. I was a legit professional gamer, and since Magic the Gathering was the very first uh, collectible trading card game, that means I was the first professional. It's so crazy. The first professional of any trading card game. There's hundreds of them in many different games. This is all before esports. It's 1994, 1995. So because I had already made money playing games, I was a professional. When I read about this, that people were making money on Twitch and YouTube by streaming, I tried to figure out how I could do that, even though I was so sick that well, even though I am so sick that I'm disabled and disabled enough that I can't work a normal job, and at the time did not have enough support from did not have enough support to be able to sleep inside. I slept on the streets for about 4 years, so which is pretty big challenge that I was sick, disabled, sleepy on the streets, and all I had was a low end cell phone. I tried to make some money by playing games. So I made this channel, this Two Dots channel, and it was not monetized. And then, for reasons I won't get into, my main channel did get monetized. So, uh, and YouTube raised the bar, made it a lot harder to get monetized. So I decided, instead of working really hard to make this channel monetized and maybe it won't work, I just combined everything onto one channel, the channel you're watching. And I worked hard. Again, I mean, that's how I got through law school. That's why I graduated in the top 3% of my law school class. That's 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 why I was able to be the very first person to be a professional in any collectibles trading card game, because I work hard. I always work hard. So I did. So I worked hard. Um, and here on this page, I'm showing you um, my what I can see with the videos that I made. So these are all the playlists that are related to Two Dots. And there's, how many playlists are there? 27? There you go. It says 27 playlists, and there's different sizes. This one only has 25, but this one has 255 videos. Lots and lots and lots. How many videos? Well, I happen to have that number right over here. Add up all of these numbers and you get 3,454 Two Dots videos. I made 3,454 videos. I tried. I put a lot. I worked hard and I worked smart, and made more than 3,500 videos. Yeah. I also, I don't want to say what happened. I published a video a very long time ago that was not intended to be a sleep stream. I don't think I knew what a sleep stream was. However, uh, apparently it was a sleep stream, and someone in the sleep stream community, someone who likes sleep streams, found the video and told others about it. So one day I looked at my YouTube and I was like, "What? This has 1,000 views?" I was very confused. Um, but I I I need to make money, so I tried this too. I tried making sleep streams as an income, and I've made about 30. They're still on my channel. Um, most of them are available through YouTube memberships only. So the number of video right now there's 525 public videos, but on the channel, um, oh, I can't remember the number. I don't want to exaggerate. Well, I mean, there's 3,545. There's something. Oh, I can't remember the number. I really do not want to exaggerate. So I'm going to pick a very low number. There's at least 6,000 videos on this channel. It's a lot of videos. And it's not because I've never wanted to be a YouTuber. I did not make 6,000 videos in an attempt to be a YouTuber. I've made 6,000 videos because I work hard and I was trying to, and I was doing things that I could do, especially as I told you, when I'm sleepy on the streets and all I have is a phone. And when you sleep on the streets, one problem is you don't have an electrical outlet to charge your phone. I don't think I told you this in this video, but I was sleepy on the street. I live in Mexico now because I can't afford to live in the United States. So I was sleepy on the streets in Mexico, and it's pretty hard to find a place to charge your phone. It takes a lot of effort. And just go to a coffee shop. I don't have any money, and I'm homeless, and I I often looked like I was homeless when I was sleeping on the streets. You get really dirty when you sleep on the streets and there's cars. It's all about the car exhaust. The that's the part that makes it horrible. Okay, so I must be rich because I made so many videos. No, I'm not. This is this is uh this is this is how much I've made from YouTube. That's less than $500 since 2022. So it hasn't worked. Um, Now there was there was a point towards the beginning where I figured out a great system. and it was working. It was making money, and it was through Amazon Associates. I'm not going to go into details, but it was actually making money. Not a lot, but but um, like I did a bunch of hard work, and then I launched it, and like 2 days later, it made money, and then the third day, it made some money. So it had real potential. And then Amazon made a mistake and uh, closed my account, and they did it in such a way that the they this has been a few years, so the details are hazy. Plus, I don't like to think about it. So they they closed it in such a way that the button to like appeal was grayed out. They were like, "No, you are so horrible, you can't appeal." But it was an error on their part, and all of the normal mechanisms for communicating with them, they had turned those off. So I was unable to fix it, and so that what could have been successful was not. Now, one of the other things that was a little frustrating about that experience was that um, so the way they do their commissions is like per country, and so on the page that showed me how many people had followed the links, my affiliate links, and then purchased something, it showed that um, the maximum commission I could have earned from all of that was something. I don't remember if it was. I just don't remember. But it was it was significant for how short a time and how few people I had reached so far. Unfortunately, the way they structure things, they had only approved me for the United States. So all of the affiliate links that people clicked on and then went to Amazon France or Amazon Canada or Amazon Japan, I didn't get credit for those. It showed me how much credit, how much commission I would have earned if I had been approved for those markets, but it didn't give me credit. So out of, I don't know, I don't know how much money it was, and I don't want to remember because it's very depressing. Out of all the money that it was $1 and something. There, $1.42. But even though I was really frustrated and a bit angry that I think it was like $100 in commissions in a couple of weeks. I don't know. And they were only going to give me $1.42 out of it. Uh, there's there was a path. There was a way for me to get approved in those other countries and earn or receive all of those commissions from the sales in those other countries. There was a way for things to get better. But as I told you, they made a mistake and terminated my account and did not give me and terminated my account and cut off all of the ways that I could communicate with them about the error and get it fixed. By the time I did finally get in touch with them, they said, "Oh yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. The way that your account was terminated, it's just never coming back." So all of those affiliate links that I had worked so hard to put in the right places and that were working, they were just dead and would always remain dead. They would never I could never recapture those links. And a couple of days ago, what does this say? Tuesday? Today's Saturday? 4 days ago, they sent me this email. I'm like, fuck you. Because it's like, hi, Hunter Hogan 20. Like, what? That's because my new number, now my username is, it's not 20 anymore. It's like Hunter Hogan something. And I was just like, what? It says, we were unable to pay you. And I was like, pay me what? Because I have restarted the I have rejoined the Amazon Associates program. But it, I have it's been a complete failure this time around. That's what happens. So it says just this whole email. The first I read it and reread it and reread it. I was just so confused. I'm like, what do you mean my account is closed? Because I got an email just a couple of days ago saying you didn't earn anything this month. I was just what? And then all the memories came back. I was like, oh, thank you, Amazon. Thank you for saying email reminding me how you screwed me up. And not only, I mean, you know, this email brings back bad memories, but look at the pettiness of this. They made a, they sent me an email that appears to say, we owe you $1.42 and we're absolutely not giving it to you. Just so you know. Now, as a lawyer, if I read when I read this with my lawyer training, it's possible. You see how it says there's no action needed from you at this time. It doesn't say there's no action you can take that would allow you to get that $1.42. Those are very different sentences from a legal standpoint. So, in short, based on my training and experience as a lawyer, I'm 90% sure that I could recover this $1.42 if I were to jump through enough hoops before this 7-day deadline. But I'm not going to. It's just, yeah. Um, so, what does this tell us? First of all, I did work hard, I did work smart, and I did make some progress, and then something went wrong. That happens. That happens to all of us. That's not the real problem. Some things go wrong. It's the the fundamental problem is my powerlessness in society because of my illnesses, so my disability and pain and sick, uh, um, all the time, all the time. Because I'm a U.S. citizen living in Mexico. Um, I'm homeless. I'm still homeless. I don't have to sleep on the streets anymore, but I don't. And I wrote the word rent here. I just realized that that's not the right word. This this place is an Airbnb type place. However, uh, because I pay for 1 month at a time, I get a substantial discount as compared to the per night guest. But I don't live here. This is not mine. I don't have a lease. I don't have any rights to this place. That's important. And if you don't, it's important for multiple reasons. I'm not going to get into it right now. Still homeless. What are we doing? Oh, my powerlessness within society. So something bad happened, and because of my powerlessness, I was not able to um, restore the situation. I was not able to fix it. So in my life, because it, in my life, as compared to the typical U.S. citizen living in the United States, or compared to me when I lived in the United States and was working as a prosecutor, or working as a teacher, or working as a professional guard player, or working as an interior decorator, or when I was working at Dell, I've done a lot of things. Um, the amount of bad things that happen to me, or the amount of things that go wrong in my life now, it is more. It is. There are more things that happen that are bad, but it's not 1,000 times more. It's not even 10 times more. The issue is when something would go wrong in my life 20 years ago, I had the power and the money and the phone and the house and the documentation to call someone, to contact someone and say, hey, we've got an error. There's a problem. There's a mistake. Let's resolve this. Now I don't. So for most people, when a problem comes along, they're able to resolve most of the problems in a relatively satisfactory way. For me, it's the opposite. When any problem happens, it's most likely I will not be able to resolve the problem in a good way or even mitigate the problem at all. It's the combination of the two things. I do have more problems. The quantity is higher. I do have more problems in general, but it's the powerlessness that makes the real difference. I don't have the ability to resist the negative effects, such as this. This is just an example. So, moving on. Moving on. Yeah, this is that's where I used to sleep. One of the places I slept. I slept in the streets for 4 years, in many different cities and towns, even out in the country, all over Mexico for 4 years. So this is one place I slept right there on busy street. This is literally the center of the town. It's a place called Jalapa. It's in the state of Veracruz. There's also a city called Veracruz. And at this time, I I didn't have enough money for food and for medicine. I had to choose. I always had to choose between food or medicine. So I absolutely did not have enough money to sleep inside for shelter. So I was sleeping on the street. But I was still working hard. I had this whiteboard, and sometimes I'd get some paper and write on it. And on the right here, you can see me trying to make some money because it happens to be that just just down the road was the university. And I mentioned that I have a lot of training and experience as a writer, including, well, as it says here, I was an executive articles editor for an academic journal. What that means is in law school, I was an executive articles editor for our law review. So, among other things, I can edit academic papers. I'm, 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 I'm very good at it. And so I put up this sign. And let's take a look here. It says fee schedule 100 pesos per hour. It's the same symbol, but we're in Mexico. So that's not $100 per hour. It's 100 pesos per hour. And at this time, the exchange rate was 20 to 1. So that was $5 an hour. That's that's I was absolutely willing to work for $5 an hour. And it worked. It worked. I the part that's obscured here, this white band in the middle, that was my phone number, contact information. And it worked. I got, I think the same day that I made this, a professor stopped and said, "Hey, my colleagues and I, our paper has been accepted for publication. However, the publisher, the journal editor said, you need to improve the English. So, we'll pay you." I'm like, yes, which is awesome because it's a professor. So, I mean, they just the whole setup was perfect because the objective was very tangible, right? Um, the editor of the paper they want, the journal they wanted to publish in, said the English is not good enough. So if I edit it and the English is good enough, we'll know it's good enough because it will be published. And then that professor and his three colleagues, all four of them, are going to tell their colleagues, hey, we wrote a paper, it was accepted for publication, but the English wasn't good enough. But this guy over here edited it for only $5 an hour, and it did get published. That was fantastic. And many other people stopped and talked to me, took my number. Things were just lined up. I mean, dude, look where I am sleeping. And there was a real possibility I could make some money and escape from poverty. And then while I was sleeping. I don't want to talk about this shit. I don't want to talk about this. Hold on. Hold on. I've been robbed more than 37 times. I've lost count, so I know it's at least 37. But I've been robbed more than 37 times. And at least two of those times, it was a police officer who robbed me. Well, right here on this busy street, while I was asleep, someone stole my phone. So all of the people who took my phone number, wrote down my phone number, had no way to contact. So it that was it. I didn't have any. I didn't have. I didn't have enough money to buy another phone, and I kept getting robbed. Uh, it's just during the time that I slept in that location. Uh, my phone got stolen. One time, a guy was in the process of stealing the phone, and I woke up and prevented it. Another time, someone stole my shoes, but I had a second pair of shoes. And then a month later, someone else stole those shoes, so I had those shoes. So again, the it is true that especially when I'm sleeping on the streets, the number of bad things that happen to me is greater than normal. Nevertheless, the real problem is my powerlessness, my inability to defend myself from potential bad things, and my powerlessness to resolve the problem it, so that I don't have a huge loss. So every minor problem is a catastrophe for for a powerless person. This isn't just me. This is every single powerless person in the world, which isn't just homeless people. It's also people are also powerless because they're the wrong gender, women, because they have the wrong skin color, or because sexual orientation, religion. There's lots of reasons that people are powerless or relatively powerless, and that amplifies the problems in their life. So the phone got stolen. I got robbed more but other things got stolen while I was at this location. Um, um, a man tried to, no, that's not the right word. A man, this is not fun to talk about. Um, a man tried to run me over with his car, and he didn't run me over, but he definitely hit me because there was no. I don't like talking about this. That's why I'm halting. Man tried to run me over with his car. I had luckily thought of jumping onto the hood of the car and jumped onto the hood. Got knocked off and rolling around and everything. And I don't want to talk about all the bad, but all of the other bad things that happened at this location. There, fuck. Why? Okay. Um. Again, what am I showing you? What am I showing you? Working hard and working smart. I've been doing it non nonstop. This photo was taken 7 years ago. 7 years. I've been working nonstop for 7 years to try and get enough money to get health care, uh, to heal, so that I can be self-sufficient. Um, and that's I guess that's what this is. But what do I have here? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it like this. Let's look at both the pages. This. Okay. Something like that. Um. Oh, right. Right. So down down near at the bottom of the screen. Down at the bottom of the screen. This is this is my current financial situation. I need to pay. I need to pay for a month, the next month, to be able to sleep here, and I need to pay for the electricity that I've used. And the way the billing works in Mexico, they bill every 2 months. I I, I don't know why, but that's what they do. Uh, and why is it that I don't go to the just go to the doctor and get healed? Well, here's here's one doctor bill, and the amount of money is very small. I mean, imagine, imagine in the United States paying rent and it's only $380 a month plus electricity. So I don't know. You want to say? Do you want to say 460? Four? I mean, that's not possible. That's why I live in Mexico because I can't afford to live in the United States. And a doctor bill? That's the amount of money is very it is objectively small, but I don't have an income, so I have to rely on the the support of other people to survive. When I pay this, I will not have enough money for food. That's the situation. That's why I'm making. That's why I'm making this video. I don't want to. When I pay when I pay these expenses, which uh, I should have already paid. I'm a couple of days behind on fuel and the monthly cost for staying here is due to tomorrow. When I pay these, I'm not going to have enough money for food. I will not have any money for food. So I need I need more help so I can eat, and I need more help so that I don't need more help. I need more help so that I can get the medical treatments that will cure my my health problem. And then all of this hard work that can go towards earning money instead of hopefully earning money. I've been homeless for for fifth. I've been homeless for 15 years, and the same hard work that has gotten me through these 15 years is the same hard work that made it possible for me to graduate at the top of my law school class, be a prosecutor, be the first professional collectible trading card game player, all that other stuff. The difference is I have health problems that make me disabled, untreated health problems. So, um, ways ways you can help me. Um, on the left here is my website. There's links, some links at least. You can go um, to PayPal, and especially if you click make this a monthly donation, that's huge. It's huge because think about the efficiency. So, according to this little clock down here, I've been speaking for 2 hours, but it took me, I don't know, an hour or two to set up this live stream. So, that's what economists call an opportunity cost. That's all of the time that I'm spending begging to not die is time that I'm not spending on something else that, you know, hope, the things that I showed you that they're definitely better than this. Definitely better than this. Better for society. Better for all of us. So, um, on my website, PayPal, especially if you can make it a monthly donation, so that I don't need to keep making begging videos. Patreon, that's on the right here, but there's also a link. Then whatever the hell this stuff is GPay still even a thing? That might not even exist anymore. I don't know. I haven't updated this in 4 years. I've been. It's really disheartening. 4 years, 15 years of homelessness and whatever. So if you really wanted to send me uh, Bitcoin or other crypto coins, you can. Uh, Patreon. Um, there's a right down here, $1.22. There you go. For $1.22 after fees, I get $1. That's how I pick that number. And I made the Patreon because um, people on YouTube in the comments said, "Hey, make a Patreon, and if you just ask for $1 a month, I'll give you $1 a month." And other people were like, "Yeah, I'll give you $1 a month." And I was like, "Okay, that sounds great." Because it's not a burden. I wouldn't if if you only if you give me only $1 a month and you only sacrifice $1 a month and you only sacrifice $1 a month and $1 and $1 and $1, it's not a burden. I won't be a I won't be a burden on each of you individually, but collectively, um, the benefit to me would be enough that I can get healthcare and recover. That's why I made Patreon, and because there were dozens of people who explicitly said, "Yeah, I'll send you $1," and there's three. That's also disheartening I, and confusing. And confusing. Uh, there's there are okay. Then um, on GitHub, they have this GitHub sponsors thing, and no one's used it, but it exists, and GitHub had a list of services and links, and I just went through and made them all just in case. So this is through GitHub. That's a PayPal link. That's my website. Then there's this Libera Pay, Ko-Fi, Buy Me a Coffee, Thanks.dev. I would not survive on the streets. Again, my strength is not what it was. I need, I, I need to heal or I'm gonna die. And I wish I were exaggerating, but I'm not. So I hope that I hope that I've proven to you that I have value. I hope that I've proven to you that my life is worth saving. Um, and I hope that I've made it easy for you to sacrifice a small amount, like $1 a month, so that it's not a burden on you. Um, that's I'm not asking for you to um, I don't know. I can't even think of give me $1 million. That's not what I'm asking for you to do. Uh, I'm asking if you will. I'm asking for you to please decide that my life is worth $1.22 a month to you, and therefore to send me $1.22 a month. And that all adds up. It adds up. It adds up. I don't know what else to say. Um, I I didn't make any notes. My notes are. Let me think. Let me think. These are some of the things that I've worked on in the past and I'm currently working on. That are within my ability to work on because I can do them. I can work on this whenever I'm not in, in excessive pain. I can work on this in the middle of the night, middle of the day, whenever whenever I have the ability to. Um, these are yeah. Um, what am I saying? So these are the things I'm have worked on, that I am working on, that um, they do have value. We know that. We know that because of things like this, where this is a this is a contribution to mathematics, and this is the code that, that helped me make that contribution, and it's available for, for anyone to use, to build on, to improve. Uh, we know we know that I I am working on things that have value because of this ranking system that shows I'm I have figured out some things that put my work at the top of the field of AI research in music source separation. Um, we know that the things that I'm working on have value because I am making contributions to important um, software such as Python, Python itself. Um, and I hope that that means you will decide that I have enough value that I I shouldn't be homeless, that I shouldn't be in pain 24 hours a day, that shouldn't have untreated um, untreated medical problems. You know, I hope that that's what that means to you. I hope that means you will do something. to help me recover. Thank you.